Well, hey guys, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Dray. I'm a board certified dermatologist. Today we are doing one of my most requested videos, and that is what are the top drugstore skincare products for dry, sensitive, mature skin. I have you covered in this video, the best. As we get into our 50s, the skin naturally becomes drier. Our skin is not as good at keeping water in. The barrier integrity is just not quite there. Our skin doesn't make those natural moisturizing factors to the same degree. So not only does it become drier, but it's a lot more vulnerable to sensitivity, burning and stinging, as well as redness. The drugstore has some really amazing dermatologist-approved skincare products that can target your unique skin needs as you get into your 50s and are experiencing perhaps dry, sensitive skin. So in your 50s, your skincare goals should be pretty simple. Hydrate, protect, support the barrier, reduce redness, protect that collagen, and gentle yet effective anti-aging ingredients. Let's start with the most important category of product in your skincare routine, and that is sunscreen. I want to recommend to you guys a tinted mineral sunscreen. It is from Cetaphil. Their redness relieving daily moisturizer SPF 40. Those of you who have been here for a while, you're like, yeah, we saw this one coming. This is a great mineral sunscreen. Now, with age, the skin can be more sensitive. As much as I love chemical sunscreens, a lot of people find that chemical sunscreens burn and sting, and I often get questions. Please recommend an all mineral formula. It uses zinc and titanium dioxide, so it's a great option for anyone who is easily irritated by chemical sunscreens. It also contains soothing ingredients like allantoin, caffeine, and licorice that are known to help calm down redness in the skin. It hydrates without feeling greasy on the skin, and it doesn't sting around the eyes, which can be a real issue for people when it comes to sunscreen in general, regardless of your age. Honestly, when it comes to what is the best sunscreen for mature skin with XYZ, it's very hard to give an objective recommendation because it honestly boils down to you, the individual, and what you like and find looks good on your skin and that you're willing to use. So I guarantee that whatever sunscreen I recommend in this video, a third of you will love it, a third of you will absolutely hate it and be like, you are out of your mind for recommending that, and a third of you will be like, next. This is one, though, that addresses multiple concerns that arise with aging mature skin. Number 2 is going to be an antioxidant serum. Now, as you all know, vitamin C, it has become a huge category in the cosmetic skincare industry. It is a top seller, and if you are a skincare brand, you are almost obligated to have a vitamin C serum, and you're also obligated to have an eye cream. In my opinion, the majority of vitamin C serums on the market are not doing anything because many of them don't even contain ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid is the form of vitamin C that has been shown to actually improve collagen as well as age spots. However, it's difficult to work with. It's not the most stable ingredient. It oxidizes readily, and it doesn't actually penetrate the skin that well either. So formulation when it comes to that ingredient. So you have all of these other derivatives like magnesium ascorbyl phosphate, 3-O-ethyl ascorbic acid. However, those, while they may penetrate into the skin well, while they may be stable and perhaps even gentler, less irritating, they actually had to be converted to ascorbic acid in your skin in order to improve collagen. And it doesn't appear as though they do that. Now, I've tried out a lot of ascorbic acid formulas over the years and recommended several to you guys who are interested in this ingredient. This year, I tried out Neutrogena's newer 15% vitamin C serum in the collagen bank line. I actually really got along well with this. It did not irritate my skin or turn it orange like many ascorbic acid serums have been known to do for me. It has a micropeptide in it as well, which they developed. They've been working on it for about 15 years. This micropeptide, there is a clinical study that suggests that it's actually promising for not only reducing wrinkles as many peptides appear to do, probably through moisturizing the skin, but this also shows some interesting findings with regards to a reduction in sagginess in the lower half of the face, which is pretty impressive in the clinical images that they show. This product also has a polyhydroxy acid, gluconolactone. Polyhydroxy acids are wonderful for sensitive skin because they hydrate as well as gently exfoliate for smoother skin that is more hydrated, plump, and firm. One bottle of this ranges anywhere from $15 to $20 depending on the day, the retailer, what sort of sales they have going on, etc., etc. And it should last you with daily use 45 days. So if you want to use ascorbic acid because it has a track record of improving collagen, you want an effective formula that doesn't irritate my skin, so maybe it won't irritate your skin. Again, hard to predict. This is a great option. I really found it to be great. And I am still using their moisturizer with SPF in this line, as a side note, that has that micropeptide. I love that. And that's actually a great no-cast chemical sunscreen. Doesn't sting for me. I digress. Next up, I want to talk about retinaldehyde. Retinaldehyde is a cosmetic ingredient. It is a form of topical vitamin A that has been shown, when applied to the skin, to improve collagen production, reduce wrinkles, and improve the visible signs of skin aging. When it comes to a retinaldehyde, one of my go-to recommendations is actually from Avene, their RetrinAL. This is one I've been recommending the longest because it's one that has been around the longest in my experience, and it is a drugstore product. Avene is a reputable company with a large R&D, so I have a lot of faith in the formulation itself. I've used it myself. Here's what I can tell you about the formulation. It's very moisturizing. It is less likely than a prescription topical vitamin A like tretinoin, for example, to irritate your skin. It works more slowly, but over time it can definitely help to firm the skin, reduce wrinkles, and improve the visible signs of skin aging. A lot of people ask about using this type of ingredient around the eyes. As you know, eyelid skin is more delicate. This ingredient might cause some irritation, and that can be even worse on delicate eyelid skin. So Avene actually makes this as an eye cream. And here's the lowdown dirty about that, because I have really put this through the test actually in the past year. I used an entire RetrinAL eye cream. Yes, me, an eye cream, I know, but gotta test these things out really rigorously. I tested it out around my eye, used an entire bottle, no eyelid irritation, no problems whatsoever. Felt like it moisturized my skin, and after I finished an entire bottle, I did feel like the skin around my eyes was a little plumper, a little smoother, although, you know, some of that could be related to moisturizing. Regardless, after I finished that bottle, I then moved on to just using the RetrinAL face cream, right, the non-eye one around my eyes, which is, you know, breaking some rules. Here's the biggest difference I experienced between the two. No change as far as irritation, okay? The non-eyelid one did not irritate my eyelids at all. The biggest difference I found between the eyelid one and the non-eyelid one came down to the eyelid one was better at actually not running into the eyes. It had a little bit better tenacity, for example, on the upper eyelid, less likely to seep into the eyes, which is really important. You don't want to get these ingredients in your eye directly. So that would be the biggest difference. But once I got used to using the non-eyelid one around my eyes, I was just a little bit more careful with how much I used and made sure to, you know, carefully apply it so that I didn't get into my eyes. But that would be the biggest difference in my personal experience using these two products to the eyelid area. That was the biggest difference I noticed. They don't give you a lot of nitty-gritty details on how the formulations differ, so just something to keep in mind. Now, the next product is another nighttime vitamin A, we'll say, and that is actually Differin Gel, or adapalene 0.1%. This is an over-the-counter retinoid that has been deemed safe for the general public to use without a doctor holding your hand and supervising. It is FDA approved for the treatment of acne. You may be experiencing acne in your older, mature years. This would be a great option, but it actually is evidence-based for improving the visible signs of skin aging and for improving collagen production, as well as improving age spots. And not only can it be used on the face, but it also can be used on the backs of the hands, where you do get a lot of age-related skin changes like dark spots, for example. This is a true over-the-counter medication, a retinoid. It's amazing for those who are still dealing with hormonal breakouts in their older adult years, and it works really well for fading age spots. It's a bit more reliable, we'll say, than a cosmetic retinol or retinaldehyde because it is an FDA-approved medication, a drug. So the formulation is pretty standardized, as opposed to cosmetic retinol or retinaldehyde, where you have all of these many different brands out there with different versions of their retinol with different ingredients in the backbone. So there's a lot of heterogeneity out there, and it's just kind of hard to know how one brand's retinol compares to another. Adapalene, they're not going to be tweaking the background formula in the over-the-counter adapalene. So it's a lot more by the book. What you see is what you get, but it can work. In contrast to retinaldehyde or retinol, another cosmetic ingredient, adapalene is more likely to be irritating, but it is pretty well tolerated overall. Again, it has been deemed safe for the general public to use without doctor supervision. My suggestion is this: if you have acne breakouts and you want something that will also help to address aging skin, consider adapalene. However, if your skin is very sensitive and you are only looking to improve the visible signs of aging, you don't have acne breakouts, you might instead elect to go with retinaldehyde. When it comes to aging skin, night cream, night cream, night cream. Now, you can use a dedicated facial moisturizer that's rich, or you can even use a body lotion. This is Rock's Hydration Plus Moisturizer. If you watched my video on dupes of high-end products, this, in my opinion, is a dupe of the famous La Mer cream. The main difference is that this does not have fragrance in it. That's kind of the main difference between the two. Oh yeah, and the price point, right? Because that's like insane price point. This is pretty reasonable. I'm gonna say like 20 bucks for this jar. Not cheap, but you know, much less expensive than La Mer. This is a very rich, nice night cream. Apply at nighttime, right? Because that's when your skin loses more water. What I like about this is it has hyaluronic acid, which is gonna help get in there and help you out as the natural moisturizing factors in your skin decline. It also has a variety of marine or algae extracts, which is what La Mer's claim to fame is, right? Well, other people can do that too. And Rock does a really good job in this particular face cream. It's wonderful on the face. It's wonderful on the neck. You can use it around your eyelids as an eye cream to moisturize them and reduce little dehydration wrinkles. Amazing. It's really a workhorse for mature, dry, or sensitive skin. All right, let's transition over to body products because you don't just have skin on your face. You already know, all right? You already know the next couple of products that I'm going to talk about. I have to, okay? Because that's the nature of this video and I'd be dumb not to mention them to you. You already know. It's going to be the AmLactin Daily 12%. Yeah, why do I recommend this thing so dang much? Well, lactic acid, 12% strength and higher, has actually been shown to improve epidermal and dermal thickness. What that translates to for mature, dry, sensitive skin is better water retention, firmer skin, a reduction in wrinkles, and even helping you out in regards to thinning skin with age. The thing about it is it can burn, it can sting. It is a body care product. The lactic acid will not only help with firmness, but will help improve barrier integrity, improve moisturization, help improve turnover of the skin, exfoliate the skin to get smoother skin, a reduction in dry, dull buildup. So everyone's follow-up question is, can I use this on my face? You can, but you want to be careful. It can irritate the skin on the face more easily, especially if you're already very sensitive. So I suggest if you're motivated to try it on the face, do a little patch test first. Apply it to a small area of your face, maybe right here in front of your ear for a couple of nights to see how you tolerate it. If you think, oh, this is going well, I'm not getting excessively dry or irritated, then move on to the rest of your face. Regardless of where you put it, make sure the areas that you are applying it, you are very diligent with wearing sunscreen because lactic acid and alpha hydroxy acid will make your skin a bit more likely to burn in the sun. You should be protecting your skin from the sun anyway, but just a friendly reminder. Also, be careful when you put this on. If you have just shaved or you have an area of the skin you've been scratching a lot, it will sting when you put it on, so you might want to avoid it. This is not the only body moisturizer on the block though that can be, in my experience, wonderful for mature, dry, sensitive, aging skin. Why have I not mentioned Gold Bond yet? Well, we're just now in the body section, okay? Gold Bond has two products that you can actually get in a box together for under 20 bucks. First of all is the Gold Bond Crepe Eraser. This is a fragrance-free, urea-containing, rich moisturizer you actually can use on the face as well. The urea helps get in there and help with moisture retention. It's a humectant, and it also helps to gently exfoliate. This also has a variety of peptides, which may help support collagen health, okay? Cosmetic ingredients, so take that with a grain of salt, but they do appear to help improve moisture retention, smoothing out little fine dehydration wrinkles. This formula also has ubiquinone, which is an antioxidant, otherwise known as CoQ10. Well, why do we care about that? Well, because when you put it on the skin, it actually can get into your skin very easily in contrast to ascorbic acid, and it can improve your skin's levels of that antioxidant Q10, which you guessed it, decline with age, decline with sun exposure. So putting it on topically, it gets in there and it may help you out in defending against environmental aggressors that age the skin and exacerbate symptoms of sensitivity. So this particular moisturizer, it's called the Crepe Corrector because it's really good at hydrating and that has a firming effect for those little crepey lines. But the other gift in the box, I mean, you can buy these separately, but is the Age Renew Retinol Overnight Body Cream. Oh my gosh. So this has a retinol in it, which for the body is great for improving the visible signs of sun damage, like on the chest, the upper arms, the shins. It also has that urea in there, and it has niacinamide, which is great for the moisture barrier, has been shown to be helpful for addressing glycation, yet another manifestation of skin aging related to sun damage where you get yellowing of the skin. And niacinamide is good for defending against oxidative stress. Plus this has the urea in it as well, if I didn't already mention that. The retinol helps to reverse some age spots and perhaps to help improve collagen production. This is gentle enough to use on the neck, although retinol can be irritating on neck skin, but I have used it on my neck without excessive irritation. And I do get irritated from other retinoids on my neck. So I suggest using the retinol at night and the Crepe Corrector during the day. if you want to use both of them. All right, here's a skincare product that really comes in when you get up there in years, because one thing people don't talk enough about, even though I've got a whole video on it, okay, is the fact that, yeah, we get wrinkles, we get age spots, we get crepey skin, we get dry skin, but the feet, y'all, the feet, dry cracked heels really become a problem with menopause and women in particular. It's called keratoderma climactericum. There's even a fancy name for dry heels. You guessed it, the game-changing product for that is Kerasal Intensive Foot Ointment. This is a urea and salicylic acid potent ointment that gets in there and really breaks up that build-up, dry, rough skin. Those cracked heels will just be smoothed out, and it's in a petroleum jelly base, so it has good longevity on the skin. Apply it to the feet after a shower. Just apply the ointment and cover it with socks to really allow it to stay on the skin and not rub off all over the floor. It really works well. It's also great for your nails as well, the urea in particular. The petroleum jelly also helps with the skin around the nails to limit access of moisture up under the nails, cutting down on brittleness. So really wonderful. One pointer with this though, it is intensive. So it's fine to use it every night for like a week or so, but after a while I suggest using it just 1, maybe 2 nights a week, because I find if you use it nightly for long stretches of the time, at least for me, I end up getting blisters because, you know, with walking a lot. All right, let's wrap it up by talking about how to put all this stuff together, because I can talk about how great each of these products are until the cows come home, but you know, if you don't know when and where and how, what good are they doing you? They're going to end up sitting on the shelf probably. Okay, so first of all, we all know at this point that in the morning, you may not need to use a cleanser. You may not need to wash your face first thing in the morning as you get up there in your years. Okay, that's mostly for people who have really oily skin. If your skin's still really oily and you find you wake up still greasy, wash your face with a gentle cleanser. It's kind of a matter of personal preference and what your skin needs. Then if you're going to use that Collagen Bank Vitamin C serum, put that on. Put that on first in the morning. Then follow it up with a sunscreen. Sunscreen is moisturizer, okay? Sunscreen is moisturizer. Plus, if you're using the vitamin C serum, that's also moisturizing with the gluconolactone in there. It helps with hydration. So you got a pretty decent moisture backing. At nighttime, you got 2 options. First of all, option 1, if you have very sensitive skin, no acne, definitely wash your face at the end of the day to remove cosmetic residue, oil, sebum, all of that stuff. Then you're gonna apply the Avene RetrinAL. Start out just applying it at nighttime a couple of nights a week, and then increase to nightly as tolerated. Works best if you use it nightly. You can put on the Rock Hydration Cream. Honestly though, if you just wash your face and put on the Rock Hydration Cream, that'll get you pretty far, okay? So if you're like, I don't know if I want to go all in with this vitamin A stuff, like I'm a little intimidated. Some people on the internet will try and convince you that not using a retinol is as bad as smoking cigarettes. I'm here to tell you, if you don't use retinol or retinaldehyde or tretinoin, you're not going to get arrested, okay? You're doing just fine. But it, you know, it can be effective, and you want to use it at night. Now, for people who have acne breakouts and want to use Differin, wash your face at night, then put on Differin Gel. Just a pearl-sized amount. Check out my videos on how to use it. Spread it out on the skin and then cover with that Rock Hydration Cream. Really will help not only with your moisture barrier needs as it relates to aging skin, but also will help address dryness and irritation that can come about with a topical retinoid. Then at nighttime, you also want to try the Kerasal foot ointment. After you've gotten out of the shower, that stratum corneum is nice and hydrated and accepting of this potent formulation. So pat dry the skin of visible water on your feet, put that on, cover with socks. Use it every night for a week, and then back down to 1 to 2 times at most at nighttime as maintenance. Because like I said, using it every single night, I find at least I end up getting blisters. All right, guys, so that's my complete list of my dermatologist recommended drugstore skincare finds for mature, aging, dry, sensitive skin in your 50s, we'll say. Honestly, this is not by any means a comprehensive list, so there are a lot of options out there that are really, really good, but I thought this would be a helpful kind of basic guide, because I do get questions in this vein of what's a good night cream for someone in their 50s? What should I be doing for my skin as I get, you know, into my 50s? Side note, I recently did a video all about the skin changes one might expect with menopause and thereafter. I'm going to put it on the end slate, so definitely check that out if you missed it. But if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.